Good morning. Well, today I want to bake what I have found to be so far, I'm going to say the best gluten-free banana bread. And the only time I'm going to post probably some videos, cooking videos, is if I find a really good recipe, because I know some of you out there who are trying to go gluten-free. You know, you hit and miss certain recipes. So, you know, it's my joy and my pleasure to bring to you videos that I think are worthy of videotaping, because let me tell you, I've tried a lot of recipes over the last year and a half, gluten-free recipes, that I have not really desired. And for those of you who know about being gluten-free, you really got to acquire a taste for it. I know when I give my kids some of the recipes that I've made, my daughter especially, she doesn't particularly care about the texture, and those that are gluten-free will know what I'm talking about. So you have to acquire a taste for it, and for those of you who don't have a choice, like myself, well, you just suck it up, to put it truthfully. But you do over time start to like certain things, and really it's not that bad, and it's healthier for you. Do a research on gluten, and it's a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. I'm not going to get into it, but let me tell you, you will be healthier, and you will even lose weight if you remove gluten from your diet. I lost, not that I needed to, but I did lose probably about 6 pounds over the last year and a half, and I've kept it off. So gluten-free diet is very good for you, okay? Let alone what it does to your body. You do a little bit of research, okay? I'm not here to do that, but I'm here just to share some good recipes. So today I want to go through a banana bread recipe that I found. I made it last week, and we gobbled it up, me and Rob. We just loved it. I know, well, maybe he didn't, but I did, because in the afternoon I like a coffee, and I like to have my little snack with it, and I've got a real sweet tooth. So it's hard when you do have a sweet tooth, and I find there's certain things now that I can't indulge in. So I like to experiment with my baking. So we're going to go through this, and hopefully you can follow along or make it when I'm done, okay? So I've got all my ingredients out here. I just want to grab my tea. And we're going to start first. I'll get my blender set up. I tried to be a little more organized this time. I have most of my ingredients out, but I'm not that organized. Just give me 1 second there. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 4 eggs, okay? Yes, 4 eggs. I was shocked at that, because most recipes, you know, they'll call for 2 eggs, maybe 3, but anyway, this recipe had called for 4 eggs. So I'm going to crack them into my mixer here. And also, these eggs have been at room temperature. I don't know if that really matters. I don't know if I mentioned that in one of my other videos. I prefer the phone's ringing. How did I know the phone would ring during this taping? It hasn't rang all morning, but I'm just going to let that ring. Okay, so I have my 4 eggs in my blender. And next we're going to take approximately 4 bananas. These are getting pretty ripe. Actually, these are the best time to eat them. I love bananas. Potassium is good for you. Have a banana a day. And do you know that it takes out leg cramps? As kids are growing up, and a lot of them complain of leg cramps, give them a banana. Okay, so I have actually 3.5, because that's all I've got left. But the last time I made this, I used 4 bananas. So we're going to take them out of their skin, put them in a bowl. You can do it any way you choose. If you want to just throw them in there, I like to mash them in advance, because it just makes them a little more creamier in the mixture of your banana bread. I find, not that anything's wrong with having chunks of banana in the banana bread. You could leave it like that. I'll mash it first. I just love, I love baking. I love I love experimenting with certain recipes, and I've wasted a lot of money in regards to ingredients because I've thrown out some things. But that really does go with the territory. And so then we'll scoop that in there. I hope you can see this in the mixing bowl, but probably not. Now my cell phone's ringing. Somebody who couldn't get me on the home phone is calling me on my cell phone, and I probably should have prepared in advance not to have that phone there. But anyway, so now we're going to add to this mixture, to the banana bread, or to the bananas and to the eggs, 1 cup of sugar. Now you can use brown sugar if you choose. White sugar is just what I use. It's not good for you either, but who cares, right? No, I shouldn't say that. We should care. But a little bit of white sugar isn't going to kill anybody. Okay, so into that we've got 4 eggs at room temperature, 4 to 5 mashed bananas, 1 cup of sugar. And we're going to also put into that our salt. Half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to mix that. And in the meantime, I'm going to get my melted, that's another thing. You can either use melted butter or melted coconut oil. Last time I made this, I did not have coconut oil. We usually keep it on hand, but Rob likes to take a tablespoon of that a day, so when I went to check, it was all gone. But next time I do this, I am definitely going to try the coconut oil, because I bet you that would add a very nice flavor to it. Okay, so we're going to get half a cup of unsweetened applesauce. And as that's mixing in the blender, I'm going to add this applesauce to that. And 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, not artificial. Nothing worse than cooking or baking with artificial vanilla. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of that into that. I can smell it already. And in the process, you take your 1/3 cup of melted butter, and you're going to melt it in the microwave, on the stove, however you want to do it. But you don't want to use it when it's hard or even soft. You want to do it when it's melted. Baking is a real therapeutic. If you like baking, some people don't like baking, but I find it very therapeutic. Of course, about 30 seconds should melt that. I love to bake. I find it very therapeutic. Some people don't like to bake, as I said, but I am a person that God created me to create. I love creating. I love doing things that are different. I love doing things that will bring people joy, that will minister to people, help people in any way. I had someone ask me why I do these videos, because I also teach the Word of God on a YouTube channel. And somebody asked me why I do this stuff. And I said, why not? Why not do it? It may be, people, you're going to help somebody. Get along in life, whether it be through cooking, whether it be through life's problems, right? Okay, so after we've got that mixed, we're going to take, now I do not normally buy Bob's Red Mill gluten-free flour, but I thought I would try it. And this is the brown rice flour, because this recipe calls for it. I usually go to the bulk barn and I buy all my ingredients through the bulk store. but I thought I'd try this. And you know, I like it. I don't know if it's any different than the bulk brown rice flour, but either way, I had it in the last recipe and I'm going to use it again in this recipe. So you take a clean bowl, for those of you who don't know to do that, and you're going to take 1.5 cups of brown rice flour. And let me also say something about baking, or maybe even cooking for that matter. Measurements are very important. Some people don't measure. Well, you wonder why your baking goods don't turn out, they flop or they collapse or whatever, is because you need to precisely measure your ingredients. It's important. I learned that the hard way over the years. Because I think you're just going to wing it, but then you try to wing it and you end up with a disaster. All right. Wow, somebody's really trying to get a hold of me on my phone. Okay, 1 cup into the bowl. And then we're going to take 1/2 cup. I'm going to rinse this because it's got applesauce in it. I guess it would help to have more than one set of measuring cups, but. All right, so we have half, get my butter out. We have 1 cup already in the bowl. We're going to put 1/2 cup. Okay, 1.5 cups. Now, it's very important to remember, I'm going to preheat my oven, I forgot about that. It's very important that when you are cooking with gluten-free flours, you need to buy xanthan gum, okay? It's not spelled with a Z, it's Xanghum, I think, but anyway. Xanthan gum comes in a bag. I've got it, I always put it in my, just a jar, but you can get that also at the bulk barn. But that's what keeps the flour together, okay? So do not forget to put your xanthan gum when you are baking gluten-free. Trust me, I messed up many times forgetting to use that. So anyway, we're gonna take, I believe it's 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum. And I'm going to add that to the flour. Okay? So into that xanthan gum, or into that flour mixture, we have 1/2 cup of brown rice flour and 1.5 cups of brown rice flour, sorry. And we are also going to add sorghum. Now see, I get containers like this, and I go to the bulk barn and I put them into that. Okay, and what did I say? 1/2 cup of sorghum flour. Don't ask me, don't try to ask me anything about these flours. I've never done really much research. I just, over time, learned which flours I liked and which flours I didn't like. And sometimes you can experiment. If some recipes call for sorghum, you can add other ones, like if you didn't have sorghum, add quinoa flour, you know, things like that. And it is required, it's your taste, it's what your taste likes, okay? Okay, so we're going to mix that, incorporate that. Now also what I like to do, when I have mixed all my flours together, I like to sift them. And sifting is a good idea because a lot of times the flours are kind of lumpy, and it just helps to incorporate and to mix them all together. You know, I don't know any of the real reasons behind, I didn't go to cooking school, I just kind of do things my way and just sort of what I've learned over the years, but when you do them and you see that they work, you're going to keep doing them, right? And it just makes for a smoother batter, to be truthful. Okay. So once we've got that all mixed, we're going to add this dry mixture into the wet mixture. I want to make sure I've got all my ingredients there. I got my 4 eggs, 4 to 5 mashed bananas, 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of unsweetened applesauce, and I melted my 3rd cup of butter. I got 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1½ cups of brown rice flour, half a cup of sorghum flour, half a teaspoon of salt I put into there, and half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Okay, so we're going to take that and we're going to incorporate this into the wet mixture, as I said. So with it on slow, once you put this in, the dry mixture into the wet mixture, you're going to slowly add your melted butter. Okay, so I'm going to slowly put this in. Don't beat it on high as you're adding the flour, because again, trust me from experience, the flour will come flying all out. So as that's mixing, we're going to just get this a little organized here. And let me get my pan. I didn't get my pan out. And this makes, you could possibly divide it into two loaf pans, but I made one last week, and I thought it looked a little full, but when it was baked, oh, it was nice and big, and rose and everything. I mean, most times banana breads kind of stay flat, at least they have for me. So what I like to do is I use Pam cooking spray, which I didn't get out. And we're going to spray that a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Unfortunately, I don't have a cameraman to point it down there, but we're going to slowly add our butter. Now, last one I made it with walnuts, and it was really good. I like nuts. I like raisins, anything. Today, though, I'm going to add pumpkin seeds and a bit of sunflower seeds into that. I'm going to probably, you don't really have to measure. Again, it's up to you how many you want. This is a 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds. And I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. Nuts are good for you. And also, I'm going to add cranberries. You can add a little more of the cranberries. This again is a 1/4 cup. And just kind of look at it as it's incorporating, as the mixer is mixing everything in together. You can pretty much tell. And really, again, it's preference. Do you like a lot of nuts? Do you like a lot of cranberries? You know, whatever suits your fancy. Okay, so as that's mixing, I get my pan ready. I got my oven preheating. It's important as you are timing this to make sure you have a preheated oven, because your timing will be off. I have a new gas oven and I love it. I've never baked with a gas oven, and it is a convection. And I'm just really amazed at how thorough it bakes in the convection oven. I just love it. So everything comes out. I used to have an old oven, and it would burn one thing on one side, and if I made cookies, I'd have to halfway through turn the cookie sheet around so I wouldn't, have uneven baked cookies. Okay, so we have mixed all that, and if you can see inside the bowl, it looks like a nice texture. We're going to scrape and pour it all into the pan. This is gluten-free again, I will stress. to anybody who is maybe just tuning in the last minute. Give your pan a shake, a little bit of a bake, get any air bubbles out. Okay, so I will be back. We're going to let this bake at 350. Now, again, I baked it in the convection. Last time, I left it in for about a 45-minute time span, and it came out beautifully. So we will be back in 45 minutes and have a taste of it, okay? See you later.